Because yeah, in
Right,
my
how about that? How about that, guys? Should have sound now. Should be fine now. I'll give it a wee second or two because there's a lag as well. There's maybe about 20 seconds of a difference between us actually talking and the people on YouTube
Okay.
projecting it out. I've actually still got it here on my phone, so we're waiting.
Just waiting.
Yes, we've got sound. Magic.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hopefully, for the third thing of time, Javeer, thank you so much for joining us, mate. You get no idea how happy I am you're joining us, and I know that sounds a bit OTT, but since we know it's on, we know we're getting on here now. We'll get we'll pack a bit of a punch in it. There we go, guys. We're cooking the gas, thank God. And this 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you, whatever, that have stuck with us through the lack of audio. Thank you very much. Me and Javeer were just discussing the age-old problem of, do you go with two 60% teams? Do you go with one 100% team? And the kind of cards in that we gamble on. Javeer was telling us, or I was kind of asking Javeer, what was the card that says kind of guilty pleasure? You know, the one that you gamble on. For me, it's probably like Ferran Torres, maybe Cuisance, Fabio Silva, I suppose, falls into that category as well. Guys that are pure rotation fodder. It's in most game weeks I'm killing myself on, oh, why am I picking this guy? Like, it's just going to give me a headache tomorrow who doesn't play. And then sometimes they do and it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't and it backfires and whatever. But have you got any cards like in your gallery that you look at and they're like kind of guilty pleasure of you pick them more often than they probably should be picked?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, I look at Amina Harit at Schalke. I've been taking a chance on him quite a few times these recent game weeks, just because I think he's a player. Like, on his day, he can just fire off and save Schalke. So basically, he's Schalke's savior. At the same time, like, he can absolutely like just be like a 30 on any given game week as well. So yeah, Amina Harit, Koita. I like Koita a lot as well. I have to force myself not to play Koita up front. Yeah.
Where's Koita? Sorry, he's got two. Is it the one in Belgium?
Yeah, the one in Belgium. Yeah, for Beveren, Varslan Beveren. Yeah, he's got 2 DMPs the past 2 game weeks, so it's an easy no choice right now. But yeah, later I might have to pick him. But yeah, I've definitely got my favorites, and recently, I just recently picked Morita, who was playing at Kawasaki last season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's just got that game time at his Portuguese club. He's just transferred to a Portuguese club, and he scored a 70 last game week. So I'm taking a chance on him this week.
Did he get a 70? I remember seeing that transfer, and I was like, that's interesting. I wonder how that pans out. There's been a few Japanese players. Obviously, Nakajima is the most famous at the moment, just leaving Porto for Saudi Arabia. But there has been a few Japanese players over the years that have went to Portugal and done well. Wow, yeah, man. His scores have got better since he went to Portugal, man. That isn't.
Yes.
I wish I picked one. He's actually still really cheap because he's
still cheap.
0.99 or 0.099 isn't the cheapest card you're going to find, right? But a challenger midfielder like that, man, it's so, I like that.
Not bad. Like, I think that was his debut last week.
Oh yeah.
And he's done well. Like, that's not a bad debut. So I'll take a chance on him this week and we'll see how we go. But yeah, like you said, Nakajima, that's another player I think who might have a bit of value in him, so long as he doesn't go to Qatar later, because he hasn't been playing too much, has he? Like,
who, Nakajima?
Yeah,
I think he's just like Ross and Hybe, a few of the guys I talked to. I might be attributing there, but I know a few messaged me when the news kind of broke that he was moving to Qatar or Saudi or somewhere like that. But then quite quickly after that broke, it was like, oh, it might not happen, and he might actually move to this team. And the other option would have been much better, of course, from a SoRare perspective. And I know a few people that took the gamble on it, and it backfired because he did move to Qatar or whatever for like 40 million quids, and he's going to get paid mega petrodollars somewhere.
Yeah. Oh man. How about Ilunga? That Ilunga's transfer? Oh man.
Well, I've also got Pity Martinez again, just because I know you only kind of come on around November time, but Petty Martinez was quite good at Atlanta, and then he went to Saudi Arabia. But I've still got him on my sofa score. The card only cost me 25 quid, right? And I must have won 2 prizes with it, right? I've definitely won more than one. I didn't win that much with it. So I won about 25 quid. I won about 2 prizes with it. And then he's fucked off to Saudi Arabia. He's like 26. He was South American Player of the Year like a year or two ago. And I've still got him on my sofa score. He plays every week. He scores every week. He assists every week. He's just so far above it. So I'm hoping that Saudi Arabia venture for him, and hopefully a few of these other guys we're chatting about, is just like a year or two at the most, and then they come back to reality and, you know, they've had their big paychecks. They can go play football for the love of the game, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Pick up the paycheck and come back to, Europe or
come back to an Opta.
Or go to Japan.
As long as Opta are there, it's football.
Yeah, that's it. But hey, Quinnies, are you watching this? Have you got the Liverpool Tottenham scores on your screen?
I don't, but Mikey Boys just told us it is currently 3-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah, it's showering goals right now. In the second half, this is crazy. Oh my gosh, Salah's just picked one up.
Oh, maybe not. VAR could overrule. Non-stick Llama's got one here. So Duceni has been a good buy for me. Picked up for 0.028. I think he's talking to Mike. We've interrupted non-stick Llama and Mike having a private conversation in the live chat. How dare we?
Okay.
Well, let's check this guy out. Dussenne. Let's have a peek at him. See what he's all about.
Okay.
Oh wow, his averages are really good. And if you got him for 0.028, my friend, that is a good trade. Age player. Yeah, scores are there. A wee bit too many reds and DNPs, and most people have got a stomach for, I think. But to get him at 28 quid, roughly current ETH prices now, he's get 290 pluses in those scores. You know, so he's got big ones in him. Great. That's a nice little find, non-stick Llama. Well, Gel. Hope he's doing you well. The game week I'm coming out of, guys, I think you might have caught this on the audio on the last one, but I'll just touch on it real quickly before we can move past it. But I did terrible. I thought I was sitting first after the first match, and I thought, could I maybe hold on for top 10? We had a score correction on my Azka, and then we had a DNP from... I can't remember who the other one was. It's down yet. We'll just check it now anyway. Absolutely killed it. I had a DNP from Fabio Silva. So we're not even picking up minimum ETH this week. It's an absolute kick in the back. Yeah, it's a bummer, man. So yeah,
that's the first time in a while though that's happened.
Oh yeah, man. Well, do you know it's funny, right? Because I've been on an amazing hot streak. Like I won like 11, 12 weeks in a row. I was winning like decent prizes, and then the fixtures all kind of dried up, and then I must have went like a month without a new card. So I wasn't buying anything. I was kind of scouring. I'd collected a bit of ETH, and I thought, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for that right card at that right auction. You know, see the one that always happens, right? You'll be sitting with some money and you'll be thinking, right, I'm after a midfielder, blah, 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 whatever. And then you'll maybe look at SoRare maybe a couple hours later and you'll see a defender, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh, fuck, I like the price of him. And then you spend a wee bit of your ETH and then you're like, do you know what? I could do another training goalkeeper now that I think about it. And you spend another little bit of ETH. And then as soon as you've done that, boom, you get an email notification. This card is on auction and it's going to be going off at 4 a.m. or something. And you know, no one's going to be up for it. And you're like, oh, I've just spent my money. Bastard. So I tried to do the opposite. I thought, I'm sitting on money. I'm sitting on it until I see that one and I'm like, I'm fucking going for it. So, and then that coupled with the lack of games and all the rest of it, I actually went a wee bit of a barren period. I've only started picking up cards again in the last week or two. I've been picking up ETH. I got the ETH stuff most of the way through Christmas. But yeah, no, you're dead right in terms of the D4. That's probably the first time in a while that we've not got anything. But I did feel a bit of a barren run. I think I was a wee bit spoiled because I had such a good run for a while. That then like normal results kind of feel bad, and you kind of need to pinch yourself a wee bit and go give yourself a shake. Like you know, you're still you're still winning stuff. You know, it's not bad. This game week, Javeer, how did you go?
This game week, how have I started off? Oh, I'm having a terrible week. I'm having an absolutely terrible week. So I picked the St. Truiden boys. I had Yuma Suzuki as my forward. And I had a Liberato Kakash. So I think a lot of players don't know this player Liberato Kakash, but he's a New Zealander kid.
Oh yeah, I know him.
And when I was, you know him. Yeah,
I think we
okay.
spoke about him.
Yeah, so yeah, like I posted a tweet about him. But yeah, he was like one of the top prospects in the A League, like 3 years ago at least. And Kevin Muscat liked him so much, he brought him up to Belgium, and then Kevin Muscat got the boot like quick fast this season for Sint-Truiden. So
I didn't realize that was the dynamic. That Muscat's brought him over from. I didn't realize that. That's interesting.
You didn't realize that, right? Yeah.
He's been linked to a big team recently, but hasn't he?
Yeah. It was kind of unexpected, like, 'cause, everyone's seen Kevin Muscat play, right? He's a monster. He was an absolute, like, some of the things he did. Like, man, I'd fear for my career. If I was a football player, I'd fear for my career playing against Kevin Muscat.
I'm pretty sure he played for Rangers, so I've definitely seen him more often than I would have wanted to in my life, being a Celtic fan. But no, I remember him. Did he play? Was it Millwall he played for in England? I forget.
He did. He played for Millwall. He played for that club.
Nah, he played for them and Rangers as well. But I know you kind of said this before we came on air. Obviously the accent. Javeer's from the land of Oz. He's Australian.
Yeah.
But it didn't occur to me to ask you, right? Interesting to hear this. I'm a big Celtic fan. Tom Rogic. What do people in Australia think about Tom Rogic?
Tom Rogic, yeah, that's interesting because Rogic was, he didn't come through like the academy system like regular players, right? So Rogic, when he was in the A League, he was a fantastic player, but he actually got picked up through Nike. Nike had a football competition, and Rogic is just like he had like thick five-a-side skills. He's got such good close control, and that's how he got his gig into the A League. It was really surprising actually to see how quickly he got up into like a top player in the A League, and then getting that move to Celtic. It was great. Like, what do you think of him? Like, are you a fan of him?
Oh yeah, in Glasgow we all love him.
Oh, good.
The thing about Rogic, but is I don't think the next level up from Celtic. I don't know if he's quite got that because he's strong. He is kind of, he's not really that quick. But if you watch him move around a pitch, I don't think scouts will find his kind of posture or his technique of running appealing. I think he looks like only people that does these like funny jogs, and you think he's not even really running; he's just kidding on. That's just the way he runs. I've seen him beat people plenty of times. He's got some left foot, can shoot from anywhere. Everyone in Glasgow loves him. Everyone in Glasgow loves him. But
it's funny with Rogic because he's been at Celtic for quite a while now.
Yeah, like 7 years or something. 7, maybe 8.
Oh damn!
Like ages.
So he's been there for a while.
Yeah. But that
you should just say that. I mean, like Celtic's a great club. So.
Yeah, but that Nike thing, like when we signed him at first, that was everywhere. Everyone was like, "Oh, we signed this kid. He's like Nike wonder kids, been plucked out of Australia. We've got him and all that." And then he was crap for a while, and then he became good because he went back to the A League on loan twice, I think. Once with Melbourne South, whatever they're called, and maybe Central Coast on the other one. But I just wanted to ask you that. It's not really SoRare related, so sorry for everyone out there.
No, that's cool. I
wanted to ask you that.
I love actually talking about the Aussies because there's a few really good Australian players. Actually, Australia actually snuck one of the Scottish boys from Scotland.
Who?
Harry Suter. We got him. We got him for the Socceroos.
Oh really?
Did you?
Harry Suter.
Harry Suter. I'm waiting to pick him up on SoRare when Stoke City come out on SoRare.
Oh, is he at Stoke?
He's at Stoke, yeah. He's a big kid. I wonder if anyone in the comments knows him. If you know Harry Suter, let us know, guys.
he's on SoRare, so you can follow him now. I wonder if he's got a follower. If he does, it'll be you.
Yeah.
Ross, if Ross is in the comments, he'll know him 100%. Ross loves he's got no followers, Javeer, so I'm going to follow him. I'll be his first follower. on SoRare.
Okay, awesome.
So I'll get
Yeah,
the email
I'll
before
do
you
that
do
too.
that you've got a card. I'll get the one of 100 and then I'll give you a wee phone call and see if we can cut a
I'll have
deal.
to pick up like number 15 or something like that.
It's not a name I know, but there's a guy that does play for Scotland called John Suter, and he's a big boy. So if they're in any way related, I don't know if I'd be surprised, and it would make sense.
I want to say related, yeah.
You said that there, but the soccer is on. We've got a guy you maybe know, maybe not, called Lyndon Dykes. Plays for Scotland, but he grew up in Australia, and if you hear him talk, he sounds like Australian.
Yeah,
but I think his family is Scottish, and he lived there for 10 years or whatever. Then he came back to Scotland when he was like 13 or something.
Yeah.
But his name's Lyndon Dykes.
Lyndon Dykes.
Hey, Lyndon Dykes. It's a pure Aussie name.
Hey, Lyndon.
Aye.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of Australian players who've got that Scottish background, and it's, even I think one of Australia's best strikers right now, Jamie McLaren. His dad's from Scotland.
Oh yeah.
And guys, if you ever see the A League come onto SoRare, pick up Jamie McLaren. He's like he's one of the best strikers in the A League. So look out for him. And Scottish background. I think he was at Hibs actually. I think he was at Hibernian.
Oh really?
For a bit. Yeah.
Well, I say if Ross is knocking about, he'll definitely know this stuff. But we had a comment come in from Aid Mortimer saying Kevin Filthy Musket.
Kevin Filthy Musket. Yeah. I met him actually. He came to my high school.
Oh, cool.
And I asked him, I was like, because at the time it was like, he was in the Socceroos, and I was like, I didn't know what to say to him. And I was just like, Kevin, how's Timmy? Remember? He must have thought I was the most what's wrong with this kid? How's Timmy, Kevin? He's like, yeah, he's good, mate.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. Just pure starstruck. That's mad. I think I'll put in a mascot once, but I know that feeling. The gaming we've got coming up, Javeer, is absolutely packed to the gunnels, full of great fixtures, great opportunities for SoRare perspective. Premier League, we don't have too much. Obviously, we've got Liverpool as a fully licensed club there, away to West Ham, who have a lot of cards in circulation at the moment. Arsenal, Man City, Wolves, there's a few cards knocking about. Leeds, there's a few cards knocking about some of those teams. Nothing too much to write home about. La Liga, it looks like we're only really talking about Real Madrid at home at Levante, Valencia at home to Elche, and Atletico away to Cadiz. So that's 3 games in La Liga where you would back the licensed club, you would back the bigger team, on paper anyway. Pretty sure if you dive into the head-to-heads, it might not be too black and white, but overall, I think those are relatively safe bets. You'll find a lot of managers going for this game week. In the Jupiter League, we've got 5 matches. So we've got Mechelen against Genk. Expect there to be plenty of goals in that, or maybe not. Don't know if you've seen the last game week we had, the last small one. 3 of the Mechelen defenders scored over 90.
Yes, I saw that. That was, oh my goodness, guys! Congrats to everyone who had a Mechelen player. Dude, that was not day.
That was mad.
What did they do? Did they score? Did they get assists or something?
I think it was like nil. I think it might have been a 0-0 match or something, if I'm honest. I can't remember, but I was going to say I expect that Mechelen Genk game to have goals in it, but based on that, maybe not. Anderlecht and Ghent, that should have goals in it because both of them have been really struggling for wins. They're not really necessarily been struggling to score goals. Bruges obviously won the Bruges derby today, and their next game is against Standard Liège, which is one of the bigger teams in Belgium also, so that could be tough. St. Trusden with your Yuma Suzuki are at home to Cecil Bruges and my Ika Ugbo, so that's striker versus striker right there.
There you go.
And then Zult Wagram against the fan favourites of SoRare Oostend. That should I'd expect that to have
very
goals
popular,
in it.
aren't they?
Very popular. Leeds are put me on to Gel Batil, the French guy, when he was injured. I picked him up for about 10 or something on Ian's recommendation. I thought that guy gets a lot of stuff right. I'll go for it, and it paid off brilliantly. Guy was a really handy midfielder for Challenger, and I sold him for a tidy profit by the time I was finished with him.
Great.
So Yel Batil, that Darpino goes for a lot of money. He's well valued and out, and it's a few good guys. Yeah, there's a lot of SoRare love for Ostend, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So they've got a Scottish lad as well. They got Harry.
Jack Hendry. Yeah.
Jack Hendry. Hendry. Yeah.
One of the first.
Good player.
I buy every Scottish card I can. I've got most of them. I don't think there's any Scottish cards I've not got. Oh, there's one Bates. A guy called Bates that plays for Cecil Bruges. I think he's been suspended recently, maybe fell out of the team as a result. But I got a Scottish guy. Oh, was it you I was talking to about this? George Johnson?
Yeah.
I got George Johnson.
Yeah, George Johnson.
I got George Johnson.
Georgie at Wigan, right? Yeah, he's gone off to Wigan.
I don't think they're going to print any more, mate. I think there's only 3 of them.
Oh, mate.
I've got one, you've got one.
Oh,
we control 2/3 of the market.
You got one. I got one.
Just both listing for 5 ETH.
Wow.
We're sorted.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, we're rich, man. We can buy a goalkeeper now. What do you reckon of him though? I know you're picking up the Scottish lads because I was because the reason I picked him up was he's a LFC academy player previously, and he was in Trent. He was actually Trent's captain in the youth team. Yeah. Not that it matters now, but but it's not the same.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. But there was another guy who you might be interested in who never got a card. He went on loan to Toronto from Liverpool. I want to say his name was Gallagher, and he was Scottish, and he was from Liverpool.
Oh.
And he played last season, played maybe about 10 games for Toronto. Never got a card, unfortunately. Yeah. He's now went back to somebody else. He's not in Toronto anymore. But if because I remember when we were talking about George Johnson, see when you said to me, I didn't really think of. I was just thinking about because he was Scottish. I knew nothing about him. Just seen the flag and the Feyenoord kit. And I thought, buying that. But you said to me, Liverpool Academy, and I thought that's a great little strategy. And I've done that a little bit, right? Because I'm a big Man City fan. I like CFG players, Man City players. Might be a New York player or a Yokohama player. Just City football group type thing. And there was a loan this week.
Some good players.
Yeah, there's some really good ones floating about. But a loan went through this week. I can't remember the guy's name now. It's a Croatian guy, and he's just put it on loan. See the team in Belgium. Their name begins with a K. It's like Korjeric or something. It's like a red and white badge. He's been on loan to them. His name begins with a P. He's Croatian. I forget his name now. And he's like 40 quid or something. But he's a Man City player, right? Listen to this. He's a Man City player. He was on loan in Belgium like 2 years ago. So he has a card already. But this season, they sent him on loan to Getafe in Spain and never really got a game. So they've cancelled his loan. Cancelled his loan with Getafe and they sent him back to Belgium to play. And he's 18, 19, Croatian midfielder.
18.
Yeah, something like that. Man City player, he's on loan in Belgium. His name's like Pavlovic or something generic Croatian name, Pavlovic or
I'll look out for him. I like picking out those players because obviously they got talent. Because I actually picked up Cameron Humphreys on the same basis. Because Cameron Humphreys was at Man City Academy as well.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Do you know that player? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Cameron Humphreys.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
keep me up.
Okay, he's at Zulte Waregem. He left. The only reason he left. Well, I wouldn't say the only reason, but he left the academy on Vincent Kompany's recommendation, and it worked out well for him because he's getting playing time now. He's doing really well. So,
I'm a good strategy. I'm a little bit biased, but Celtic, let's see, over the last 8 years, we've had a bunch of players on loan from City. We had like Jason Denier, we had a guy called John Guidetti, we have Olivier Cham, we had Patrick Roberts. We picked up a few. Jeremy Frimpong, who was just sold to Leverkusen for 11 million. He came from Man City. Yeah. So the guy, I found him, by the way, his name is Palaversa. And he's
Palaversa, okay.
Yeah, and he's on the market now. Pavel Trader, if anyone knows who Pavel Trader is, he has 3 of them, and they're all up for sale for virtually the same price. So I'm sure he's desperate to get them shifted. You could probably get a wee bargain off of him if you were interested in a Palaversa. He's maybe not a teenager anymore, actually, because this card is a year or 2 out of date, and it says he's 19, so he's maybe like 21 now or whatever. But he's a Man City player. They tried to put it in La Liga, didn't work. Getafe, if anyone who doesn't know, Getafe are quite an attritional team. You know, they're not like free flowing attacking football. They're 4-4-2, crosses into the box, corners. You know, that's the kind of style of play they have. So maybe he didn't fit the team rather than it not being a standard thing. You know.
It's tough in the COVID year as well. It's really tough. Like,
yeah, it's hard to judge people now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it could even be something like that. Yeah, just like maybe, I don't know. Mike Basson's also caught it, and he's also told me that David Bates played today, so maybe he's getting back into the team. I'll maybe look at picking him up at some point. I'm not as big a rush for David Bates because he's a Rangers player or an old Rangers player. I'm not too excited about that in particular. Yeah, so Mike's telling us all about Pavel. Yeah, Pavel buys buys a lot of cards very cheap in air quotes. I managed to get a good few deals off of Pavel myself.
I'll admit, I was looking at Pavel's gallery last night. I was eyeing a player, so
the guy does deals.
I might have to put an offer in. Yeah,
I've sold him two. I've sold him 2 bundles, right? See, even I think I've sold this in the stream before, right? But see, when you put that thing out on Discord, like, oh, I'll buy your gallery for 60% it's worth. Like, I'm not messing about here. I messaged the guy. Anyway, I think I was chatting about this when John was on the stream, but I messaged him and I got a really good bundle. I got rid of Ruffier the day he retired and stuff like that. You know, I got a good price out of him.
Oh, yeah. Remember that, yeah.
I was happy with the price. I think he thought he was happy with it. I got like market rate as far as I'm concerned. I think he thinks he was getting it 60% cut, you know, which it wasn't, you know. Because this is an interesting thing, Javeer, right? Like, you know, let me know your thoughts on this, right? But see, when you look at the market, right, I can do it right now. You can see the cheapest price that somebody's listed for, right? But I know this from hunting cards down. Is the cheapest price they're listed for doesn't mean that's the price they're selling at. You know, there's not. You know, we're still in the early stages of SoRare. You know, the customer base is like what 3,000-5,000, something like that. You know, so some players just don't have that big of a spotlight on them. They don't have that many people hunting them down, whatever. So if you're going to base your valuations off of the marketplace, more often than not, you're going to find yourself frustrated. Like when you're looking at prices, this is kind of what I was going to ask you, right? When you're looking to sell somebody, right? How do you gauge this is the price I want to push the button on?
Yeah, a really good question.
There's no right answers, by the way.
Right. No, but yeah, for me, I've always got a figure in my head of what I think that play is worth, and I won't let the market rate influence my figure too much.
Okay.
I kind of feel like the market's going to catch up to my figure at some point.
Nice.
Yeah, and I mean, I will negotiate on it if I feel that that timing works in my favor. So, kind of like in a cash flow perspective, like if I sell this player now, at this price, I could probably pick them up, 3 weeks later, even a little bit lower. So that's kind of my thinking behind it. Yeah, I don't know what you think of that, but also I mean with ETH booming, I'm always keeping an eye on ETH and trying not to sell too far. Well, trying not to go under my ETH purchase price. But sometimes that's okay as well. It's not a deal breaker, but yeah, that figure that I have on players in my mind, it's kind of locked in. I'll look at Amina Harid. I picked him up for like €25. Nice. I genuinely think like at the end of the season, when silly season comes in and transfer talk happens, there'll be guys willing to pay 100, 120. I think personally, but yeah, it's very perceptional.
So see, when I'm like selling a player, I'm very much the same kind of train of thought as what you're just describing there. Sorry, I've just realised I've not actually done a tweet or anything about the stream, so sorry, man. Just pop that out there.
No, okay.
It's all the messing about with the audio.
I'm gonna drop a tweet too.
yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah.
But what I often find is sometimes, like you say, you don't want the market to pull your valuation down. So see, whenever I'm trying to sell a player, I'll kind of just, I don't really enlist that many people, but I'll look at my gallery and I'll think 15 of you guys are for sale, if you know what I mean. I might only list 2 of them because I'm not wasting my time listing a guy that, like the Pity Martinez I was telling you about earlier. I can't remember what version of the stream it was on. I hope it was this one, but you know what? I would sell him if somebody gave me like 20 quid for him, right? No, maybe not 20 quid, but I would sell him for a price, right? I'm not going to list him every day of the week because he's not playing SO5. No one's, why bother? It's brain power and thought space I don't want to be spending on. So I'll just leave it sitting, and if anyone comes knocking, cool, or I'll let the card maybe turn around and wait for the price to return. But I don't list that much, what I like to do, and I got this question recently, right? And I want to ask you this, right? Or I'll kind of tell you, anyway. So I got really active on the market over the last 6 weeks. And somebody was messaging me, like, hey, how do you sell so many cards and how do you buy so many? How do you do it? What I found has really worked for me a lot is a real cliche that I've heard, you'll never walk alone, Hybe, all these guys that have been here longer than me say. But being active on Discord, you can move cards as quickly, really, as you would care to. If you're on Discord, if you're active, you're thinking, right, I've got 20 cards I want to move. And if you can get on Discord, do some trades, do some sales, do a bit of promotion, like I'm selling these 5 cards, I'll do a bunch, that kind of thing, then that's much better than just popping them out there and hoping somebody finds them in a list. If you're really actively looking to sell maybe 5 cards to get a goalkeeper or whatever your targets might be, being active on the Discord, I think, is primary. That then brings me to my question: is do you get active on Discord for negotiation and trading and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, I did actually early on, especially. I utilized Discord as much as possible, and I'd say like in the past month, I haven't utilized it as much, but at the same time, like I'm not buying as much.
Yeah.
So I think when I do get like, let's say when I do get that paycheck coming in, or a bonus or something, and I know I'm gonna buy a bunch of players. I'm gonna try and utilize Discord as much as possible because I think it helps a ton. In saying that as well, I gotta say, like the best people who have given me offers on my players have all come through Discord, and I think the most polite guy, can't remember his name. I wish I could shout him out, but he was so polite. Like rather than like put in an offer on SoRare, like he just messaged me and said, "Hey man, are you willing to sell this player? Like quick and simple. Are you willing to sell this player?" That's it. And I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy, like, I want to sell a card to this guy because, I can imagine that he probably messaged like 20 other managers with the same message, but at least he's, he's being
pleasant. I felt like that with people as well.
Pleasant.
People message me, and also I do videos and stuff as well. So it's a little tiny bit different. Obviously, you're kind of taking those steps now, so that will change. But sometimes people message me, I'm kind of like, you know what? I do really want to give you a card, but it's like giving you money. I can't just give you money because then I'll have none. Sort of thing. So I get that feeling. I've had that a few times where I'm like, I wish I could just give this guy this card, man. I wish I could just go, man, fuck it, here you go.
That's it. And I've seen you talk about it, Quinny. I've seen you talk about like, that there's no counter offer function on SoRare yet. And I think we're all waiting for it. I mean, we're waiting for it, but I mean, I've tried to like entice, someone to continue like negotiate with me. Don't worry. Like if you haven't got Discord, so I can't communicate with you. But look, I'm gonna put a counter offer to you. So like, I can't get them to offer ETH. Like we can't ask for another player to offer us so much ETH for a card. So I'll pick out like a ridiculous offer for them. Like, I'll trade me these 2 and I'll give you this card just to try and like communicate that to them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a secret code, but it hasn't worked out for me yet. And I think
it's too secret. But it's funny. See exactly what you just described, right? I seen a tweet about something similar, right? And then today, right, I've got this card. It's a goalkeeper called Pibble Obi. I don't know if you know him or whatever, right? It's not too important.
Right.
But I got this guy for like 0.14, which is, I think, is a bargain. There's only 4 cards of him. He plays for Yokohama Marinos. Anyway, I get a ridiculous offer for him maybe once a week, like £5 and stuff like that, right? There's only 4 cards of him. He's under 23. Anyway, I got an offer for him a day. It was like 0.002 or something like that, right? And I knocked it back, and then I thought about the tweet, and maybe you did a tweet as well, because I know this kind of thing has came up recently. But what I did is I went into the guy's gallery, and he had a Sorloth card. I've got a Sorloth as well, and again, there's only like 4 of them, right? So he's got one of the Sorloths. So I put a direct offer into him. I gave him an offer of £9 for the Sorloth to kind of give him a gauge. Like, see, I don't know if you realise, mate, but I know the card you're trying to buy for me is just as good as the Sorloth, you know. So that's the kind of equivalent offer you've just given me. I'm not stupid, you know, because he's not in Discord or anything.
That's
you know.
Interesting.
So I try and that was a really fortuitous example, because the guy had another card that was 1 out of 4, but I've tried that a few times where I try and find something that's about the same value and send them a stupid offer and go, you know, that's what you're doing here, mate. You know. See the thing as well, right? Let me ask you this: have you ever, how many? I think the answer's going to be yes, right? Have you ever had an offer for somebody and the first thought you've had is, does this person think I'm stupid? Like, you know?
Yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely. I always feel like when I do get that type of offer, I'm like, oh, are they new? Are they new to the platform? Because I'll check like the date they signed up.
Yeah.
And like it'll be like maybe 4 months ago, so they're not that new. But I get that a lot. I do get that a lot, and I don't know what I know. A lot of people with SoRare putting the the listed players now. You can put offers on them now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That kind of got a mixed reaction actually, because a lot of people were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get heaps of offers now. Like we're gonna get ridiculous offers on some of the players we listed. We listed those players for the sole reason that we wouldn't get offers on them, you know? Just to lock them out. But I'm
just taking a wee look at your gallery now, Javeer, right? So I've went on to yours and I've put it by highest average score. The top line is pretty good looking, I must say. Yo, you get a wee Varane. That is a nice card. Did you buy the bundle?
Yeah, I did. I picked up the bundle.
Wow, lovely, man. Good job.
And that was very in the moment. I didn't plan that one. I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna get this one, because I can't remember how much I paid, but I got a good price on that. I was thrilled to get that for Rand. Vinicius isn't doing too well. He's struggling a bit.
Oh, you got Vinicius in your pack? That's not bad.
Yeah. But he is young. We'll see how that goes. Did you pick up any bundles, Quinny?
I've not got it. I don't think I've ever bought a bundle, by the way.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think so. I went for a few. I went for a Real Madrid one that had Cruz in it, and it went too beyond me. I've been dying for a Cruz, but he's not come at the price for me. I think he's good value for the price you get him for, but I'm just not ready to pay that amount of money for somebody that's 30, you know. Even though it is Tony Cruz, you know, like he's worth every penny of it, but it's not going to be my money at the moment. So I tried to get a bundle. It'd be good value. It didn't pan out. I also tried to get a bundle or two to get the Andy Robertson, and it didn't pan out too well. Because my worry with bundles, right, especially the Liverpool bundles, I thought overall they were, right, in my opinion, a lot of them were quite poorly stacked. If you know what I mean. There's a really good Liverpool bundle on day one, and it was like Robbo, Van Dijk, Jota, and I can't mind, but another good midfielder, and then like the goalkeeper, the backup goalkeeper. And I thought,
Chalman,
the Irish guy. And it was it was a really good bundle, I say Jota, Robbo, Van Dijk, a decent midfielder, and then that backup goalkeeper. And I thought, I'll go in for that. I'll pay. I can't remember the numbers, but I'll pay a bit of this. And I went right over it. And what I noticed in the past, right, with Real Madrid bundles, is the composition of the bundle. I noticed it repeating itself a few times. I don't know if that was just luck or whatever. But what I thought was, right, I know that bundle exists. I know that combination exists. So I'm going to wait for the next time that bundle comes up, and it's Robbo, Van Dijk, Jota, whoever it was. And
I noticed that too. Yeah. Yeah.
And I've just never seen it. I've not really looked that hard, to be honest with you. I've now got the Robbo, which was the main target, really. A Van Dijk would be nice. I'd like a Van Dijk, but with his injury, I'm in no great rush to go and buy one, you know.
Yeah.
But no, so I've not actually got any bundles. The Lazio ones, I'd never really pay attention to. The Juve ones, I've been close to getting it. I've been close to going for a few Juve ones because I like a lot of the players at Juve now. And I like all the cards this year. The strip's a wee bit funny. I think the cards look really nice, you know. And I think like the Dybala, the McKennie.
The McKennie was mate. Wish I had a McKennie. If anyone's out there got a McKennie at a great price, you might entice me. But but Quiddy, like what type if you had to pick your ideal bundle that would release tomorrow.
Ooh.
If you had to pick like 5 players in that bundle, which 5 players would be in there?
Just
I'll leave it up to you.
Any club, any cards?
Be at different clubs.
Right, okay, well, there's going to be a fantasy bundle. It would have to be like a team, you know, an actual probable team you could put out, I suppose. So if there was to be a goalkeeper going a bundle, I'd probably want maybe like a Safanov or something like that. Maybe a Safanov or the Greek the Greek guy at Benfica, kind of like him.
Okay.
And do you know I've been hunting down the last week, maybe 2. I've been trying to get a Buffon, just because I want him.
You've been trying to get a Buffon,
I just want a Buffon. I don't want to pay any more than 0.05. So this mechanism, this just came in when we were talking about any Buffons that come up, I kind of just send them that offer and wait for them to reject it. One day, somebody will say yes, you know. But,
it'll happen.
So maybe I'd go Buffon in a bundle just because I like Buffon. I don't know. Maybe it's hard. It's hard just to go loosey-goosey, but I say if it was Liverpool, I've kind of told you what my ideal bundle would be. I think MDJ Mel, I don't think she's actually done any SoRare content with me. Yeah, I don't think. But
I saw her on Twitter,
But Mel,
she's great,
Mel's really good anyway, and she got a Jota super cheap.
She got a Jota?
She got one.
Super cheap?
Yeah, I can't remember how, I don't know if it was show, because I think it might have been a private, you know, she might have messaged somebody and got a deal. But I think what she did, right, this is a wee sneaky tip for like anyone at home or whatever, right? But what Mel did, and she said this in her tweet at the time, so I'm not giving away any trade secrets or whatever, but she seen somebody had closed the bundle, and she, you know, I think it maybe had a super rare in it. Yeah, there it's there, 22 days ago. It doesn't tell you the price. I'm sure Mel will tell you if you ask her. But that bundle, I think it maybe had a super rare in it, like Alexander Arnold or Amani, had a big card in it. And she just messaged it, just saying, "Oh, the Jota, I'll give you this for it." I can't remember how much it was. It was like fuck all, but and she got it. And his scores, he's obviously got DNPs for the last little while, but his scores when he was playing were crazy mental. So that's a good card from Mel. And it's a good tactic again. I recommend, you know, if you are looking for a card that's bundle only, maybe just wait for one that goes alongside a unique or a super rare, and you know the guy that buys the bundle is just not really interested in that wee rare that you're after, you know. They've been in for the unique, you know, kind of thing.
That's right. I think that's a good tip. Yeah, really good tip. And definitely if you're looking at players who pick up bundles, I think if you can pick out that player, so if you can pick out the manager's like you know, most loved choice in that bundle, if you can figure it out, you can definitely get a good deal if you can speak to them on Discord and negotiate something. I picked up a Liverpool bundle, and I picked up. I was waiting for. Look, I'm waiting for the really young kids like Reece Williams, and Nico Williams as well.
Curtis Jones.
But I really wanted Curtis. I would have loved to have picked up Curtis in that bundle. I got Minamino, and I know like Minamino's like nowhere to be seen right now, but with the whole Japan thing, and my wife is actually from the same hometown as Minamino.
Oh wow.
So like it's kind of we've got that like sentiment, like she's a big supporter of Minamino because of that. Yeah. So I had to pick him up. But
fair play, man. How many cards like that? I bought a Nakamura. He's 40.
Oh, you're Nakamura?
But yeah, I got Nakamura. It's like £4 or something. You know.
How good was he for Celtic back then? Man, he was unreal. Like What a
I
player.
don't know if you can see this up here. Like, I don't.
Hey.
I've got a wee signed picture and a wee. I'll show you this. I'll show you this.
Oh, brilliant.
Don't know if anyone will care about this. Dropping things in my room, man. Bye. Used to wear this, the games.
Oh, no way. You used to wear that? Oh, that's brilliant, mate.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it?
Nakamura.
Aye. Nakamura.
So, yeah. I like that, Quiddy.
It looks like it.
So actually, so Nakamura was at Yokohama Mariners, right?
Yeah,
And,
that's it. I think in SoRare, but it was only at Yokohama FC.
Yeah, Yokohama FC now. Yeah, but yeah, back in the day when I was in Australia, they actually came to Melbourne to play against Melbourne Victory in the Asian Champions League. And I'd seen the players actually. Me and a mate went to the game early, and we actually saw the players training outside the stadium. And I was like, "Oh, mate, we've got to go watch these guys train because I kid you not, I'm sure Nakamura is somewhere around there." And Mike saying free kick god, he was a free kick god. He's an absolute gem. So yeah, we seen the players training, and I ran up. We ran up to the right up to where they were training. And I was like, "Where's Nakamura?" I asked the guy, "Where's Nakamura?"
That's amazing.
and you know, like the Japanese guys, most of them didn't have a great grasp of English, but the guy was like, one of the players was like, "No Nakamura, no Nakamura today." I was like, "What?"
No,
I was heartbroken.
no.
I was heartbroken. Yeah.
I love the guy growing up, man. Did you see that video that he done? I don't know if it was a promotional one or whatever, but he's like in the streets of Japan, just like kicking the ball, and then he just belts this free kick, and a bus goes by with an open window, and the ball goes right through. I don't know if it's real or not. I hope to God it is, right?
It was real. It was real. I mean, they must have got the bus driver to drive past at least like 3 times. I reckon he would have gotten in 3 at least. But yeah, Japanese TVs like that. Like they do funky stuff like that, and it's funny. It's funny. It's cool. It's cool too. Yeah.
Do you understand a good bit of Japanese? I take it.
Yeah. I've finally got a grasp on it. So I can keep track on a basic conversation in Japanese, so that's nice.
That's good.
Yeah, but it was tough. It was really tough when I first came. Like, I'm not the studious type. I'm not the studious type unless soccer is involved, unless football is involved. I'm not the studious type. So yeah, but now I've got a good grasp on it. My wife still wants me to improve, so I gotta get studying and improve my technique.
If the wife wants it, normally happens.
But my name on Twitter, Javeer Des. So basically, if you want to say your name in Japanese, basically like Quinny, you can say Quinny Des. I'm Quinny. That's what it means.
Cool.
That's what it means. So yeah, so that's why my name on Twitter is Javeer Des.
I prefer Quinny Sama.
Quinny Sama. Quinny Sama. Hey, Quinny, you're right on it, mate. I like that. Quinny Sama.
For people at home who don't know what that means Lord. Doesn't it? I think it is Lord.
Basically Lord.
Or Master or something.
Quinny Sama.
Nah, it's like it's like Master or Lord or something.
Yeah, up there. Yeah. Senior figure. Yeah.
That's it, man. I keep messing about with my hair. I need a haircut so badly. And see the thing.
I need one too.
I've got 2 screens now, so I can constantly see that I'm fidgeting and I'm turning myself into somebody who's got no hairline and a barnet into a bird's nest and then a comb over.
Yeah. It's like my first one in like 4 months, I think. Gosh, mate.
I need one badly.
Yeah.
But anyway, I should be talking about football to I've got my haircut.
We should be talking about
I've got my D4 line up set for this week, right? Now with the pain this week, right, of not hitting the actual ETH threshold, right? I've tried to make sure that I'm actually going to bag something there. I've got a little bit of a gamble in here. But I went with Paul Lopez in goals. I think he'll start. I've got my new boy Denzel Dumfries at the back. I've got Captain Weston McKennie because he's hot to trot there now. He didn't start the cup match, which was last night. Ramsey started and McKennie was off on the bench, so I'm confident he'll start the weekend. I then got Kamada at home with Frankfurt. They've just signed Jovic. They've maybe got a new lease in life. They're at home at Hertha Berlin. And then I went with Sorloff. Sorloff's the gamble that's in that lineup. I'm pretty much certain he'll get minutes against Leverkusen. I would hope that he starts, but I don't think Nagelsmann will start him. I think we'll start with Forsberg as a false forward again and bring SoRare from the bench. But I'm happy to take the gamble that I made last time, and it paid off for him. That I'm hoping they're going to give him a run of games in the team. But even with like Denzel Dumfries, Weston McKennie, and Kamada, and the goalkeeper, I'm hoping the four of them can at least get my Eve together. And if they do well, and SoRare pays off, then maybe I might get a card when I'm at it in D4. Are you going strong this week in D4, Javeer?
In D4, yeah, I've gone pretty strong. This week I put Allison as my keeper. Just bringing it up. I've got Allison as keeper. I've got
Allison in D4.
Yeah. Actually, not saying. Hang on. I'm making a mistake. That was this week. I put Allison in D4 this week. I wasn't taking any chances.
No, but
let me just pull this up. And all right, hang on. So this is week. Yeah, this is week 138, right?
Yeah.
138. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. No, actually, I think I am going Allison in D4.
Nice.
I've got Matip. So they're going up. Liverpool's going up against West Ham.
Nice.
Liverpool just got the 3 points against Tottenham. I think they're going to carry in some good form. So hopefully they do that. And then I've got Koke in midfield.
Cool. Is Koke been playing?
Yeah. Koke's he was suspended for one of the matches like 2 matches ago. But he's back, and he's just he doesn't usually get like a top score, but he's consistent. He's consistent.
Solid.
He'll get
Koke.
the 90 minutes.
It must be Sol then. One of them, let's see, Sol and Koke, one of them isn't really in the team anymore. It must be Sol if Koke's still doing the business for you. But one of them's kind of out of the team.
Yeah.
But no, that's good, man. Koke's solid, you know. I think the thing with Koke, like, he's a good passer of the ball and all that, but he doesn't really get goals and assists that often. He'll probably get like 4 goals and like 6 assists or something, you know. So he'll get you some green scores through the season, and while you're waiting for them, he'll give you some solid oranges. I think really it's about there.
Yeah, for sure. And like, you know, he's always a chance with an assist because he's got like he's got Suarez there, and he's got the other kid's name. I forgot his name.
João Felix.
Yeah, João Felix. You got João Felix there too, so they're doing well. And then I've got Yuma as my striker, and I've got Morita. We were just talking about Hidemasa Morita earlier from Kawasaki. He's doing all right at Portugal. He had a good debut, scored 70, so I've got him in midfield. I might switch Allison and Matip to Euro. If I switch those two out to Euro, I'll have to go with Ralph Farman in as goalkeeper from Schalke, and I'll have to switch defense. I'll have to switch out Matip for maybe Tapsoba if Tapsoba is available.
See, Tapsoba, by the way, that's a card that I wish I bought a lot earlier. I've not got him. I don't think I'm really in a position to buy another defender. Defenders don't really excite me about buying. You know, I'm not very often excited about buying a defender. The Yamain was a purchase I was excited about making. Robbo, I'm happy to buy. There's been maybe 1 or 2 others, but overall, defenders don't over excite me.
What do you think of Tapsoba? Like, he's impressed me because he looks like a ball-playing defender, like, and he seems like he gets up quite a bit. What do you reckon of him?
I think like he signed last January from a Belgian club, if memory serves me right, and since he's signed, he's been in the team, you know, and he's under 20, isn't he? He's like 19 years old or something. I might be wrong, maybe 21 or something. He's young, you know, so to go straight to Bundesliga level and not have a settling in period with a club where it's like, oh, he's, you know, 6 weeks of training, getting to know the guys, getting to know the tactics, then he gets signed and then he's in the team. And I think that was down to necessity. I think he had some injuries and some suspensions at that time, and he's grabbed his opportunity. Yeah. But when a player does that, I think it gives you a massive gauge on their drive and how professional they are. You know, so there's some guys that transfer and they just doesn't. You know, you look at good example, right? Christian Eriksen and Alexis Sanchez, for that matter. Both of them are players that I would not be buying them. You know, it's fine to buy them for a transfer if you're going to hold them after they move. Like I seen a link today, maybe yesterday, I'm sure it was today. That it was today. Fabrizio Romano, you know, the big guy on Twitter. Yeah. He said it's nowhere near close, but the talks are in progress now. A swap deal, Edin Dzeko for Alexis Sanchez between Roma and Inter Milan.
Really?
He said it's nowhere
Jeez.
near done. It's just it is a discussion that is ongoing. I think Inter Milan want Dzeko, or maybe it's Roma that want it. But anyways, one party is more interested than the other, and that's the deal they're trying to make happen. So my point being is those guys are both like mid-20s, late-20s. In Sanchez's case, early 30s. And when somebody transfers clubs, you've got the risk of the culture, the teammates, the manager, all these things not really fitting and working. But your boy Tapsoba goes from Jupiter League into Belgium, into Bayern Leverkusen, and he's in the team, and he's pretty much stayed there. So from that, and I've watched a bit of Leverkusen this year, and I've not seen him put a foot wrong.
How good have they been? They've been so good, haven't they?
They have been so good.
Oh man!
Now I'm going to say this right. I had a bunch of Leverkusen players. I had Bailey, I have Alario, I have Demerbe, I've got Wirtz, I've got Amiri. I think that's it. And I would quite happily own another one or two of them. But they've got a really tough month for fixtures, and you'll get some of them. You'll get also sold my Amiri today, which we were talking about, I think, on the last version of the stream. But my point is with Leverkusen is they are having a great season, but now they do have some really tough fixtures piling up. They've got Leipzig in the next match, as you know. So you might find some of their players become a little bit cheaper because some people expect green scores every week out of a Bailey. They expect green scores every week out of a Wirtz. Out of and when that doesn't happen, some people get itchy feet and they think, actually, this isn't the card for me. I'm going to sell it for a quick buck and then go back to plan B or whatever. So when teams hit bad form, doesn't mean they're bad players, and you might find some opportunities open up. So if that's a team anyone's been looking to get into, they do have a tough month for fixtures. I think we're at the end of January now, so that opinion I've got is probably a little bit dated. I don't really know what their fixtures are like for February, but you might find some of their players come up. They've had Bayern this month, they've had Leipzig this month, and they've had I think it's just January. I thought it was going to be tough for them.
Yeah.
Well, Tapsoba was from a Portuguese club. Sorry.
No, it was from a Portuguese club. Yeah.
Is there a Tapsoba that plays in Belgium then? And maybe that's why I'm having a wee brain fart. I think there might be.
There is a Tapsoba in Belgium.
Matip went off injured at half time tonight, mate.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah,
no way.
Mike Basson caught us. Mike Basson is the hero of the stream, by the way. He catches all the injuries. Everything.
Oh, thank you, mate. Okay, I'm gonna switch him out. Thanks so much. Oh no. I don't know if Dragovic is gonna get a pick. It's gonna get a game.
Dragovic is a tough one because but they did get a bit of a game. They were playing him in midfield because they had a lot of midfield injuries.
Yeah, right.
But the midfielders coming back. Wirtz is available. Amiri's available. I think Demerbe's available. Baumgartlinger is available. And I don't know about Palacios. Palacios might be coming back on the bench, but I don't know. Outstandingly aged strikers, a guy called Tapsoba. That's why I'm thinking that. Thank you very much, Aids, for catching us.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so Matip went off. Who replaced him on it? Because there was Liverpool's really cutting it fine at centre back right now. I don't know who would have come on.
I've been for a while, I think. Yeah. My gambling formation this week is going into D3. Right, I'm trying to keep myself like really strong in my D4s. Kind of like the lessons I've learned from the last game week. I'm trying to make sure the D4s are strong. They're tough before I go overcommitting into D3s. So my D3, right? Listen to this. Keylor Navas. I've got no real idea whether he's going to play or not. I don't know if you know, but PSG's last match, he gets subbed off at half time. And I'm not going to lie, just before everyone's begun on this week, life and work and videos and everything else, Twitters and whatever, I've not even looked into it.
Yeah.
But I know there's a chance that Navas might not play. Mancini's just come back from suspension, should play, probably will play. Cuisance.
He's looking good, Mancini.
Oh, he's one of the first cards I bought. I loved him on Football Manager, which is, I know in Japan you probably don't have access to that, but I loved him in Football Manager, but it didn't really quite work out on that platform. It wasn't too friendly for him, the way the scoring is and everything. But he's actually hitting some great form on this. It's lovely. I'm going with Cuisance as well. They've just sold Sanson, so I'm hoping that opens a wee spot for Cuisance. I've got a new super rare. I think did I speak about him on the stream last time? I can't remember. Yeah, I've got a boy called Ishmael Azawi. So he's a wee Belgian guy, plays for Heracles. Just been released by Wolfsburg. He was a bit of a wonder kid when he was 17, 18. His career's not really rocketed the way like people thought it might. But he's a tiny little midfielder. He's only played a few games. And for the minutes he's had, his contributions have been decent. So I got that super rare for like £125, which is like 0.125 ETH.
Great. Good.
And it's a gamble, you know, like, you know, it's a gamble. I'm hoping it's a midfield, you know, he's a forward, right? The last match he played number 10, he can play out wide.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he strings a few greens together, bags me some prizes. I can sell, and this is something you guys can check my gallery, you can see everything I do, right? But if I sell people for good profit, I don't sell them at arse ripping prices where it, you know, I normally try to make sure, listen, if I'm going to sell this, then you need to give the guy that's buying it a bit of room as well. You know, like if I so the Zowie, let's imagine a Zowie hits 370s in a row, right?
Yeah.
And let's say, I don't know, any card of that caliber, you'd say market rate's half a coin. I'd probably be quite happy to sell a card like that for 0.4, roughly, give or take, depending on circumstances and situations, because you then know it's half a coin card. The guy buying it's going to be happy. I can sell it quite quickly. It only costs me 0.12. It's a lot of profit for me. There's something left on the other end for somebody else, hopefully. That's just me personally. I might be being a wee bit too treating like philanthropy or whatever. I don't know.
That's good though.
But when I sell something, I want to make sure, I don't want anyone to say, oh, that was a rip-off. Kind of because I've got a kind of public identity almost a little bit as well, so I don't want to think I'm a con artist or something, you know. So
good a reputation.
Yeah, just try and make deals fair and whatever. So anyway, if I can pick up a super rare for 0.12, and let's say best case scenario, I can flip them for a third of a coin in a month or two. It's a good price for all involved, then I've done it. And then the captain of the team is Crepin Diatta, also just transferred to Monaco. I don't think he was there longer than 2 days, and they brought him off the bench against Marseille. So I think that's a really good sign, and I'm hoping he goes into the starting lineup. I think he's almost certainly going to get minutes. It's just how many. Does he start? Does he get the last 30, the last 10, the last 5? I think he gets minutes. So I've went captain on him. It's a pure gambling lineup. If they all hit, something amazing could happen. And I'm not holding my breath on it if Navas doesn't play or Cuisance gets subbed at halftime or anything else. So that's where my gambles have went this week.
Awesome. Yeah, and I like Diatta. I mean, like, what a player. I think for him as well, just going from Belgium to France, easy, like culturally easy. He speaks French, of course. Because, you know, it's a really good move from Monaco to get him. Yeah.
And there's a lot of players that make, you know, just when you said that there, kind of occurred to me, there's a fair amount of players that do move, you know, Belgium, you know, that kind of centre continent, you know, Germany, France, Holland, Belgium, you know, there's a good bit of migration between those countries for football players. So I think you make a good point in terms of, you know, culturally all the stuff you're talking about, but also like this, being at Bruges, right, the best team in Belgium, you know, you're going to have steamroller teams, you're going to have possession, you're going to have shots on target. Being in a good Monaco team also offers you that. So a lot of people that I know that were talking about Diatta with me when he'd moved were a bit worried that his scores might go away, but I'm actually quite optimistic they might go down a little bit, right? But I think they'll probably, you know, maintain a nice kind of level. I'm hoping anyway. It's a gamble this week. We'll see what happens. Time will tell. My strongest lineup I've went for this week is under 23s, but I've went for D3, and it's probably one of the most sexy lineups I've put out. I think in terms of looking at the cards, right?
Let's check this thing out.
I've got my font and goals. I've got super rare Hakimi. I've got my new Ibrahim Sangea. I've got my super rare Nemeka, and then I've got Captain Joe David. Now I won the Joe David for finishing second in under 23, and he was down as a tier 0 reward, right? It's a wee bit gutted because obviously when you're getting tier 0, you're thinking Mbappe, right? Yeah. Please. And Joe David's a wee bit of a letdown, but his form is really good now, and he's playing dog shit Dijon this week. So I'm hoping he's going to start and get some goals. They spent a lot of money on him, and you know it's like with strikers, when they start to get a rhythm of scoring goals, you need to keep them in the team. And try and string that out. So I went with him as captain because I think he's good. I think he got a good shot, but
he's in great form. Yeah, just I've been really impressed with him. Yeah, what a player. I know I can understand your disappointment when you got that tier 0 reward.
Yeah,
but definitely you'll have some good moments with him in your teams. Yeah, for sure.
He's one of those cards that when I first came on, because he was at what was the Belgian team? He was at, was it Ghent or Genk? I can't remember. Was it Bruges?
Genk,
Genk, yeah. And it was like, where's he going to go to? Man United are interested in him. Everyone's interested in him. And then he went to Lille.
Yeah.
you know, which from a SoRare perspective, again, is a bit of a wet blanket because Leon are also licensed. So if you were a Jonathan David holder, you know, you're kind of like, there's going to be more cards of him anyway. So I'm quite happy I've got the Leo version or whatever. But yeah, so Joe David, that's him. If you went for any under 23, sorry, on you go.
Under 23, I'm waiting for the J League to kick off. I know you've got Tani. I remember you had 2 Tanis.
Two Tanis,
right? Yeah.
I'd recommend it. I'd gladly get another one again. There's nothing wrong with having. I'd have 5 of them if I could afford to.
Yeah. Oh, you said 5 of them?
No. I'm saying I would. I would.
You would, yeah. Me too. I'd take 5 of Tani. Yeah, I've got the 1 Tani, but yeah, he'll help me set up a good under 23 team, and then I've got some decent Japanese players which I think are going to perform well for me, at least in D4 of under 23. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited for J League to kick off again. Just because it gives me so much more flexibility with my teams, and I think I've got a gallery which is kind of maybe at least 30% J League. So
wow.
Yeah. So looking forward to that.
What I think we're going to see, right? Obviously, season to J League closed out. We've had a lot of European giants come on the platform: Bayern, Real, Liverpool, PSG, whatever. Right, the whole shebang. I remember when J League and MLS and all that were going on at the same time as Europe, and you could go into global competitions and have like 3 J League cards, a European card, an American card, and you could do really, really well. And I think there's a lot of users on the platform now that didn't experience that and probably are underestimating a lot of these cards and a lot of these galleries, like yourself, like kind of mine. I've not got too many J League or more MLS, but there's plenty of them out there. But a lot of these J cards activate when their fixtures come back. Then I think a lot of users out there are going to get like overnight level up strength, you know, in terms of what they can deploy, how strong the lineups can be. And I've felt a massive difference in the competition levels in the divisions anyway. But I think once we get to the back end of March, especially when MLS kicks in too, I think it's just going to go crazy in terms of how much of a roll of the dice it'll be, who wins. You know, on the stream last week, I don't know if you caught it here, but we're talking a lot about that French connection stuff and whatever. The more variety there is in card selection, the harder it is for someone, in my opinion anyway, to like bully a division and just go with 5 like top end cards. Because if you've got cards in J League, MLS, all these places, like yourself and like many others, you've got a good chance that somebody will hit 100 that costs 20 quid. And then the guy that costs 500 quid, you know what? He gets subbed off at half time with an injury. He only shot 40, you know?
That's right. So,
big cards are not a guarantee.
I completely agree. And I think, you know, when you've got that big market of cards, it becomes that much harder to manipulate. And that's what I was thinking about too. I was thinking about that with French Connection. I was like, you know, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about it over the past week, and like, I can completely understand everyone's feelings. But I was just thinking as well, like, once all these leagues, MLS, J League, once everything's going at the same time together, how much do these guys think they can actually, you know,
control,
you know, like dominate,
dominate.
You know, control, dominate. It's not that easy. If it was that easy,
you just do it yourself. Because like, I don't think a lot of the cards that have circulated between one another are price wise as well. It's not as if they're unattainable for these types of guys. You know, these guys have a lot of money anyway. So getting an Archimich doesn't really have massive stretch to the imagination that they could afford that anyway. We've got a really interesting comment come in, right? I don't want to move on until I talk about it, right? So, Mr. Coleman, what do you think of this, Javeer, for a D4 global? Marcusson in goals, Porto goalkeeper. A defender called Face, Faes. It's a new one for me.
Let's have a look.
Rongier and Zielinski in midfield with Bamba up front. That comment is from Mr. Coleman.
Yeah, so Zielinski is it's a solid player, isn't he? Zielinski, so he's always great. What do you reckon, Rongier?
I like Rongier a lot, and you know, there's a guy on my channel. He's not been on for a while, unfortunately. His name is Nixter442, right? And he's not got Twitter or anything like that, but he used to always come for the Football Index content. And this guy, mate, honestly, one of the I love all my subscribers. I love everyone who watches the stuff. Don't get me wrong, right? But this guy would drop in maybe once every 2 weeks, and he would leave like an essay length comment in my comment section, and it would be tips for players, his opinions on things, what he liked with the video, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and mate, honestly, I shit you not. If he's left me 20 comments, he's had 20 successful picks. Everything that he's ever put in my comment section. What? Yeah. And one of the things he said to me, one of the last things I remember he said to me was when Rongier signed for Marseille, I think he moved there from Nantes, or he moved there recently anyway. And what he said to me was, Rongier going to Marseille is a great buy there now. This was on Football Index, different platform and whatever. But that's always stuck in my head, is like Nixter likes Rongier, you know, and he's starting to do pretty well. I think his scores are quite tidy. I don't own him on SoRare. I would happily win him. I don't know if I'd buy him as such, but so I've got Cuisance. Which is my Marseille kind of guy. What's your opinion on that team? Marcusson, Feist, Rongier, Zielinski, Bamba. Does that sound good to you for a D4?
I think that's a good team. I like Bamba up front as well. It's been doing very well. So I think that's a good team. Like Rongier, I just checked Rongier's scores. Like he hasn't hit consistent form yet. But I was looking at him too. I was looking at him not long ago, and I was wondering, should I take a chance on him? So that's maybe tipped me over. If I see a good price on him again, I might pick him up now. You've convinced me, Quinny.
Yeah. Well, I say the boy next to our 442. See, like whenever I'm not like on camera or working or whatever, what I do sometimes I go back through videos for different reasons, just to check things and maybe just try and. See, one thing I'm quite bad for, especially with my other content I make for Football Index, is I'll maybe talk about something in a video, and I'll think to myself, right, what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll talk about that again in a month or whatever, and then I forget. Yeah. And I never do. So sometimes I go back through old videos and listen to them for 2 minutes, and then I think, that was brilliant. I've totally forgot to pick up on that. Or what? So anyway, point being, if I come across another Nixter comment, I'll tag in it. I'll show you this guy. Like honestly, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So he likes Rongier. Yeah. I'd gladly have one. I've not read. I wouldn't buy one at the moment. But that's not because he's not good at anything. It's just I've not got space for another midfielder. Sort of thing. Oh, good. We've got lots of activity in the comment section. David Peters is also joining us. I think he's in Japan also, but he's definitely
he's awesome, man. Like he's great. I love your tweets. Yeah,
he's a hero, isn't he?
Yeah, he knows the Asian market so well. He knows actually a lot of South American market, Asian market. Gosh, jeez.
Well, there's a lot of crossover between those two in terms of where players. You know, there's a lot of Brazilians in Asian football, as you know. So there's a good bit of crossover there. Now, I said to myself a few weeks ago, Javier, see when I was kind of, if was flying away, I was doing some trading and whatever. I can probably see one thing I've noticed, right? I'm gonna say like two things at once here, so sorry. One thing I've noticed, right, and I think I said this before, so sorry if I have, is the challenger players. Let's see, European challenger. I think it's a very liquid section of the market. I think if you want to trade cards, buy cheap, sell a wee bit higher, upgrade to better cards as a result of that. I think the challenger cards are a great place for people to do that, or even to start out in. So I was kind of looking at my gallery and I was thinking, and I've got a good hunch. A lot of these guys will go for good money, will go quite quickly, and I can use that money for A, B, and C. So I kind of thought to myself, right, I'm going to move challenger out of my kind of radar. I'm not going to really pay attention to it, and I'll charge on. But I've ended up with another challenger lineup this game week. And
really?
The reason for that is, see, last game week I won one card, and guess what division I won it in? Challenger.
Challenger.
I've sold all my best cards from Challenger, pretty much. I've still got like Diaz transferred, so that wasn't really optional. I bought Nemeka, but he's a super rare. But guys like Dorsch and a few of the guys kind of like him. I've kind of sold a few of them on and moved them on. But I'm actually quite happy with this. So I've got Wellenreuther in goals, the Anderlecht guy. I got Miazga, and then I've went double defense on this. I went for Miazga and Mbemba. Now I've got a little card here. We were talking about George Johnson earlier on.
Yeah.
There's another Scottish guy. His name's Chris Cadden. I think this guy has 10 cards. I own 2 of them. He's moved from the MLS back to Scotland, and Scottish League is SO5 covered. So this guy plays for Hibs. He's just made his first start against Rangers. He shot a 47. Rangers are top of the league, dominating. So to make your debut and shoot just under 50 in a game against Rangers, I'd say is very good. The next game he's got, the next game he's got is against Dundee United, who just get beat like 5-0 or something. So I'm hoping, I'm captaining him, Captain Chris Cadden in midfield. I'm hoping can get a big score out of him. And then I went for Ike Ugbo up front, which is a gamble. He can shoot 30, he can shoot 60. But I've got another Challenger lineup out. Is Challenger a region you delve in a lot, or you target with a lineup? I know you probably buy cards out of that region, but do you attack it with a lineup as such?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to develop my Challenger, actually. I'm picking out teams right now, Woody. I'm picking out a couple teams to grow long term. So I've targeted now, with the Dutch League coming in, I've targeted PSC Zwolle. They're one of the teams I'm targeting to grow long term, a Challenger team for, and CSKA Moscow, because I've seen they seem to have so many players under 20 in their squad.
Yeah,
I think they're going to try and get those players into the first team. So I'm growing those long term. But with regard to Challenger right now, I mainly focus on Zulte Waregem with Cameron Humphreys, Omar Govea. I've got another kid in that team who's Jep van Hanks.
Okay.
But he got injured, so he's been out of the squad. I picked up his super rare quite low. I picked him up for 90.
Nice.
95 or 90. Yeah. So I'm waiting for him to come back. So I'm Challenger definitely heavily involved, and especially in Belgium, because just when I started the game and I saw everybody, all the other managers participating, and I feel like the Belgian league is just bread and butter of SoRare, just because it's been around so long. Everyone knows it so well now. So I've got a big focus on there, and I think I've tipped towards Centruid, recently with that Liberato Kakashi pickup and Yuma Suzuki. I want to pick up Durkin. So if anyone's got a Durkin at a
the American guy,
price, does
he play?
And the reason,
does he?
The reason I want to pick him up is just if if his career ever goes off the edge in Belgium, he's always got the MLS as a backup. And I think that's I like to have that. I like to have that when I pick players.
I definitely agree. It's a good safety net.
A Challenger.
Just gonna move my seat, mate. 2 seconds. But no, I definitely agree. That kind of thought process is definitely good. Like, I bought a card recently, and it was kind of off the recommendation of some guys I chat to on Twitter or whatever. And it was Franco Cervi, the Argentinian kid. And it was like, he's going to move to New York and all the rest of it. And I was right up for that. Like I said to you before, like City Football Group, if I can buy some players of them. Generally, I like that. So anyway, I thought, I'll buy Franco Cervi. Paid like 0.2 for him. That was fine. The move fell through. But I've still managed to sell him because he's 26. You might go back to Argentina, you might stay at Benfica. You need to always consider the downside of somebody. What if it goes tits up? Now, like I said as well in the stream, I can't remember if we caught it on audio or not, but I've got Pity Martinez. Don't think anyone forecasted. And if anyone remembers that transfer, by the way, it was literally like he was scoring, playing every week, and then it was like he didn't get picked for a game. And it was just like on the same night he didn't get picked. It was like Pity Martinez is moving to Saudi Arabia. It was just like that. It was done in like 24 hours. No rumours, nothing. It was just he wasn't in the team, and then it was he's going to Saudi Arabia, and then it was like that's it. Transfer done. He's in Saudi Arabia. It was like that overnight. So you can't really foresee the crazy shit that might happen. Saudi Arabia and Qatar are the only ones we're really scared of. China is cool. MLS is cool. Japan's cool. Korea, of course. I think we still need the Aussie A-League, don't we? We've not got that. It's not.
We do.
It's not covered. Is it covered SO5 wise? I don't think it is it? Yeah.
It is. It isn't. It isn't. Yeah. I wonder if it. I don't know if the Opta data they're collecting is high enough. I think
it definitely will be. It definitely will be. I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. Because it's a massive Western culture. I think some of the problems, like Saudi Arabia and Qatar and all the rest of it, they're major economies and whatever, right? But they're not major civilizations as such, in terms of infrastructure and all the rest of it. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the wealthiest little hubs they've got the fastest Wi-Fi in the world and all the rest of it, but it's not as a country like, you know, roads and railways
like
and whatever.
It's funny, like when the best players do move over there, like when the high quality players do move over there, we kind of we don't they're off the internet for a while. Like we lose track of them, and then it's like, oh, this guy's come back to Europe, and at this point, and everyone's trying to catch up on how their quality is. But,
whatever. So you can't forecast for that one, but no, I definitely agree with you. The kind of reasonable worst case scenarios you can forecast, always take them into consideration. The Andy Robertson one as well, like it might sound daft, right? I was talking to Roscoe when that card came out, and it's like the worst thing that happens to Andy Robertson is that he moves back to Scotland when he's 33. But even Andy Robertson in the SPL at 33 is still going to be top quality. You know, he's still going to be
exactly.
He's a Champions League, Premier League winner. You know, he's still going to be amazing. So anyway,
where do you reckon he'll go up? Do you reckon he'll end up at Dundee or Celtic?
I don't think. Listen, I don't think he leaves Liverpool for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if he went abroad. By the way, because number one, he's of course good enough, and I think a lot of great Scottish players in the past used to play in Italy. You know, like the 70s and 80s and that kind of thing. So I think he's the Scotland captain. I think he would maybe see it, and I might be kind of talking. I think he would maybe see it as like a duty to maybe go abroad and kind of say, kind of the same way Jadon Sancho's done for like English youth players. You know, like you can go abroad and do well. I think he might have a shot at that at some point after Liverpool, maybe when he's 30 or whatever. But I don't think he'll be in a rush to come back to Scotland. Wouldn't be surprised if he never even came back, you know, if he just retired from America or something like that. Or at Liverpool, we could
get over to the A-League. Come on, Australia. We'd love him over there.
Did you watch much of David Villa when he was over there? From Melbourne City?
Hey, I actually met Villa. Yeah.
No way.
Villa in Melbourne.
No way. Did you?
Yeah, I'll post a photo. I'll post a photo on Twitter.
Oh, please do.
I'll put the photo on Twitter. Yeah, man, he had the I waited like 4 hours just to get a photo with him. But he was a really good player. He was playing for my hometown club. Melbourne City. Woo! Yeah, so that's my team.
Not Melbourne Heart, no, you don't like them.
But he was good. I felt bad for him in a way. Like I think he felt like he got pushed out to Melbourne just for the sake of the City Football Group, just to do like a bit of a
he definitely did
like a marketing push, which he did, But he was a great player. Quinny, I've got about 10 minutes. We've got to get to work.
That's right, man. I kind of forget people have lives when I do this stuff, mate. So don't worry about it. Listen, we'll probably wrap up in two anyway. I'm probably just going to talk about our team selection or two, and then we'll probably just wrap up.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
We've had the audio glitches, of course, and I do appreciate it's probably now like 6 a.m. where you are. You've probably got some breakfast to make or something. The last lineup I'm going to talk about, right, and then I'll kind of leave us on a little topic to talk about for 5 minutes, and we'll call it a night, right?
Cool.
So the last lineup I've got, right, I'm actually really excited about this one. It kind of follows on well from what I was just chatting about. Champion Day 4, I've went with 5 what I call power rares, right? So in goals, got Oblak. Defense, Robbo. Midfield, Carlos Soler. Midfield, Goretzka. And up front, Captain Depay. So I just went with 5 baddies. I'm not going to fuck about, try to dice a D3 together, chop some super rares in there. I'm just going to go with 5 strong ass rares.
Yeah.
And just
mate. Oblak, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Robbo, Oblak,
Soler,
oh, brilliant.
Depay, and Goretzka. Yeah.
Right.
Now,
how's Depay been going last few weeks?
Depay doesn't miss, mate. Doesn't miss.
Doesn't miss. Yeah.
He doesn't miss. The thing we'll end the video on, right? So we have a very interesting special weekly this week, right? Where it's the Derby de Lisboa. Now, contrarian, I'm not entering it. In fact, I'm hoping everyone else does. And I'm hoping that they put in all their powerful Sporting Lisbon cards and all their powerful Benfica cards. And put them all in there. And keep them away from Challenger and keep them away from Global.
Yep, I think so too. I'm actually going with the same strategy. I did pick up. What did I pick? I picked up the Benfica defender. What is his name now? Former City defender Benfica.
Otamendi.
Otamendi, yeah, thank you. I picked up Otamendi. I'm having a brain blank, but yeah, I picked up Otamendi as a reward. And he got COVID. So he's out. But I would have played him just to enter that competition.
Yeah, but you can. You still can.
I know. I still can. But get this, Quinny. I actually traded him. I traded him just before he got COVID. I traded him for Divock Origi. I got a Divock Origi out of him. So yeah, I added a Spartak Moscow player, the midfielder with the David Luiz there. Gosh, I'm going blank. Major blank right now. Yeah. So I traded him as well. I love that player. I think he's a really good player. He's a great talent, but I really wanted to Divock Origi. I got Matip and Divock Origi now, which is shocking to a lot of people. But yeah, it's I'm a Liverpool supporter. So yeah.
A little bit similar to you, mate. Is I actually used this game week. I've been kind of like I've seen before. I might have like 15 players I'm happy to sell, but I don't list them all. Mario was one of them, and also the Chervi transfer kind of knocked back on itself. That it's not moving to New York anymore. So this opportunity with this special weekly actually gave me the chance to sell some cards because people want to buy them now. They want the Sporting Lisbon card, they want a Benfica card to enter the tournament and go after the ETH. Whereas I'm missing out. I'm not going to be entering it, so I'm not going to get that 0.05 ETH, right? But what I have managed to do is sell 0.06 worth of cards as a result of it. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I'm up tiny bit up, but what I'd have been doing is not sell them, enter it, maybe not win the 0.5. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't want those cards anyway. Now I'll sell them, bank it, and then I don't need to put a goalkeeper in. I don't need to stress out with a lineup or take players away from here and there and whatever.
Yeah, no, that's sharp. Like that's another thing that when SoRare does do these types of promotions, like it gives you that option as well, and that's awesome. That's awesome.
So where's your big last thing we'll finish up the night on, right? So you're not entering a special weekly. Where is your biggest hope for success this game week? What division do you think? If I could fast forward to Monday morning, it's trophy day. What league is going to give you something
this week? I think. Yeah, look, I'm playing it simple. I'm kind of playing it simple until J League kicks off. So I think champion. All-Star D4 is where it will be. I've taken a chance in All-Star D3 on some players, but I'm kind of relying on Minamino playing for Liverpool in All-Star D3, which is quite slim. So there you go, guys. Yeah, so there's no chance of that. So there's very slim chance of that. So All-Star D4 is where I'm pushing for rewards. I've got Allison in there, which is shocking to a lot of people. Got Allison in there, but hopefully I can pick up a reward in there. And then as we get closer to J League, I'll be pulling in those J League players.
I think it's going to be pandemonium, mate. Honestly, see when J League and MLS all kick in, it's going to be a free for all. There'll be different winners every week, you know. And I think I think that'll be great. I think there'll be honestly D4 levels. I think there'll be a massive variety of winners. It'll be a great time to be on the platform and everything.
Yeah.
Listen, Javeer, I'm very conscious of time now, and I feel like I'm holding you up for your day, mate.
No,
so
you're
listen,
good, you're good.
I'm going to love you and leave you, mate. Thanks a lot for joining us. It's been absolutely fun.
Thank you.
Everyone at home, thanks a lot for joining the stream. Thanks for bearing with us through the technical issues at the beginning. It really means a lot to me. There's 8 likes. There's 21 of you watching. Before you leave, before you close YouTube, before you close whatever, hit a like. Help me out, please. It means a lot. Good luck this game week, guys, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.
Thanks so much, Quinny.